frustrating is that element for you that your best guy couldn't be out there for the last 4 minutes?
Yeah, it was an unusual environment. We're used to having the hotter arena at this time of year. But both teams had to deal with it. It's unfortunate that it was that way. It was how we responded in those minutes after that point. I think it felt like a punch in the gut when you see your leader limping like that back to the bench. But at the same time, we still had an opportunity to make plays going down the stretch, and they made obviously the biggest plays in the last 5 minutes.
Mark, right here.
Coach, on that note, what do you think about the way the Spurs responded once LeBron was out?
Yeah, I mean, it was an explosion at that point. They flattened us out offensively, and Danny Green shook free for those threes, and the floodgates came open at that point. I think when we were up 5 with the timeout, 86-79, from that point on, it was a 30-6 run or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Erik, LeBron had been a big factor in keeping Green quiet. He didn't even hit a basket in the first 3 quarters. Then he's out and Green explodes. Can you talk about that?
Well, it's not necessarily who's guarding him. He has a way of shaking free when you're concentrating on other guys, and that's what makes him dangerous. The 2 of his threes were off of other actions, and then the last one was a specific play for him that he made us pay for that.
Erik, you said we're used to having hotter arenas this time of year. Do you find it suspicious at all that the air conditioning went off, considering LeBron's history of cramping?
No, I mean that would take an incredible mind to try to plan that for both teams to be able to go through that. So both teams were trying to manage it the best you could. We were going deeper into our subs, quicker subs than you're used to seeing.
Howard, back right.
Erik, have you had to ever deal with an environment like that before, just in terms of the air? And what did you guys do, or the trainers do anything special that was done on the bench to try to keep
just trying to hydrate as much as possible? LJ, look, at one point he was getting up with about 3.5 minutes to go, and I just looked at him and said, "Don't even think about it. I mean, you can't even move at this point." No, the only times we've had something similar to this, and it hasn't even been to this level, is in our arena. When you have the Miami humidity. But look, both teams had to do it. We're not making excuses for it. It's unfortunate. Both teams had to play through it. You had to try to manage it the best that you could. With 5 and change, it's a great ball game. It's up for grabs, regardless of the circumstances.
Coach, Emilio Perez, TAP Deportes. Other than the last minutes of the game, that it was a total collapse from you guys. But before that, you were comfortable or glad the way you guys played defense, the way you guys managed the game to have a chance to win?
Well, it's a possession series. Yeah, you just want to put yourself in a position to have a chance at the end. And look, you got to make so many plays in this game, in this series, on both ends. And so it goes back and forth, and mental stability throughout all the runs is key.
It feels to you the same way that for most of us, that's going to be a rally series, ups and downs? A rally series, ups and downs between 2 teams?
Yep.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Okay, thank you.
Last question, back right.
Me?
No?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.